Hello guys, my name is Daniel. I'm a student at the University of Toronto, and for the last 400 days, for the last exactly 400 days, I started on June 30th of last year. I've been working on creating the world's most advanced space repetition flashcard application that can save you as a student, as much time as humanly possible while allowing you to perform even better. So here's a quick and scrappy demo of what I've built so far. So first things first, Nebulearn is a flashcard platform. So all your flashcards you save to folders. These are some of the folders I've created so far. Let's change them into this form. This is just a test folder. I made some random questions. These are some biology questions I made. These are some French words, some Chinese characters. So if I enter my French words folder, these are obviously flashcards that I created. You can see all of them here. You can edit all my questions. I can start studying them. I can share my questions with my friends. I can even export them as a PDF or docx or even a Google form if I'm a teacher and I want to send this to someone or something like that. So for each question, you can specify the front side, which is the term, the definition, which in this case is hello for the term bonjour, and an explanation. And obviously you can edit all of these. For each question, you can also add tags. So if I want to, I can add tags. I don't have any tags right now, so I have nothing to choose from, but I can create a new tag. And from my studying, each question also stores very rich study data that you can use to see the question stats. So you see this little button beside the star button, which is this little detailed question statistics button. So if I press that, I'll see all the statistics with regards to the question. So my last rating on this question was 4 out of 5. I knew it pretty well. My average confidence overall is a 4. It will be due in 3 days. I'll explain what due means in a bit. I've studied it in 2 sessions. My recent average over 3 sessions, in this case 2, is 4. I don't have enough data for my trend, but all sorts of rich data that you would ever want. Also, I've created this little calculation for your mastery on the question. It goes up to level 10, and based on all the confidence ratings, as well as some other stats that are drawn from the space repetition system data that I store, this is calculated, so you can see or gauge how well you actually know the question. Okay, so back to the dashboard. There's that component. Now, I guess something that sticks out a lot is this right here. So you have quick actions, you can browse your questions, obviously create questions, and here are due questions and new questions. What are due questions? Well, due questions are questions that are due for review based on the space repetition system you choose. So in Nebulearn, I've coded it so you can choose from 3 space repetition systems, and I might work on adding some more. There's a Lightner system, which I currently use. It's a simple box system where each box corresponds to a number of days in which a question will be due. So you can search it up if you want to know more about it. Oops. This is the SM2 algorithm. If you're familiar with Anki, you know SM2. This is the default algorithm, at least when I was using Anki. I'm not sure right now. And this is the FSRS space repetition system. It's recommended because it's the best. It has the highest memory retention, and it allows you to study a lot less while performing as well, memory-wise, long-term memory-wise. This was trained, FSRS is a machine learning model trained on thousands of people's data so that it creates and learns how you study and recommends your question such that it optimizes for your forgetfulness curve. Now, I might have said something wrong there, but regardless, it's a machine learning model that is very good for spaced repetition. So in this case, I have 20 questions due, and if I just click here, I'll be able to study them. Right now I'm not going to study in this demo, or maybe I will, but you have flashcards. You can study in the flashcard style, or quiz style, or study list style. So if I go quiz, this question actually only has 2 flashcards and has 18 quiz questions. I should mention that although Nebulearn is a flashcard spaced repetition system, you can also save questions as multiple choice questions. Multiple choice questions obviously are kind of similar, well, not obviously, but if you think about it, multiple choice questions are similar to flashcards in the sense that the correct answer is sort of the backside of a flashcard, and the front side of the flashcard would just be the question, and then your distracting choices are simply just extra information. Anyways, let's go back. So those are due questions. New questions are simply questions that I haven't studied yet, but I've created. And here is my study activity. So these are some metrics. 20 questions due right now. The actual interesting part is the heat map. If you're familiar with GitHub, this might look familiar. If you're familiar with Anki, this might look familiar. But the green is how many questions that you've studied on that day, and the blue is the current date. Anything red are questions that were due previously that I didn't study. Didn't study them because I was not being on time. Orange are future questions that are scheduled, and if you really want, you can click on any of these and it will tell you what questions are due. So if I click this, it'll show me all the questions that are due on this date. And lastly, you'll see this little AI usage box. You don't need AI to use the app. This is not an AI app. This is a spaced repetition flashcard system, but I've made it to be AI native. So what that means is, let's say I'm creating questions. There are 2 ways right now you can create questions. You can create them using AI, or you can manually create them. So if I believe, so let me just remove this for now. So this is what it looks like. If you're creating flashcards, you can just enter the term and definition. It's very simple. You can also add an image. So let's add an image. This is the Krebs cycle. I'm sure lots of people know about this. And then let's create a question. I have to type with one hand. What enters Krebs cycle? Okay, that's really bad. Okay, let's fix that. Okay, I can type the definition if I want. Answer would be pseudo-CoA. But if I want to save time, I can simply press this generate definition automatically with AI, and in literally a second it gives you the definition. So that can save you a lot of time if you want to manually create your questions like this, but you still want to save some time if you're making like very easy questions like these. Now obviously this image saves with the flashcard, but let's say that you want to edit it. I've also made this editing interface where you can edit the questions as much as you want. I'll be working on improving this, but right now you can use this sort of pen tool and just blot things out. For example, I don't want this to, it's a bit big, but you can change that, whatever, and then we can save it. Sorry for the poor camera work, guys. I'm filming with one hand. Okay, so that's one way you can create questions. I'm going to save this here to my biology questions folder. Save question saved successfully, return to dashboard. One other way I can create questions is with AI generate. So right now I already have attached my little Krebs cycle diagram, but I can add other files. I can add any files, almost basically any, screenshots, images, PDFs, even code files, text files. One interesting feature here is audio. So I've integrated audio, so if you have a lecture, you can actually record your lecture, and while it's recording, you get a live transcript. This is pretty cool. You can obviously copy the transcript or whatnot, and you can use this entire audio to generate questions from your lecture. I'm also working on a functionality right now from the Chrome extension, where you will be able to, it's not on, I don't have it right now, but you'll be able to highlight anything from the Chrome extension, right click, and be able to immediately create a question from anything ever. And that will save you a lot of time if you're a heavy flashcard user, or if you want to make a lot of questions, or so on and so forth. Also, I hate it when you don't have the ability on these apps to record, play or download your audio. So you can obviously do that. You can download it and use it in other software. I want to make it so Nebulearn is a very open thing where you can use it with other software rather than being a very closed system. One last thing with regards to that. When you create questions, right here you have a little import button. So right now I'm still working on this. It doesn't look great. But you can actually, and this is recommended because I don't want to handle so many AI generations, you can use ChatGPT or your favorite LLM and generate questions in a format. So for example, I literally give you a guide and an example prompt to use with your favorite LLM. Create a JSON array with 10 flashcards about whatever your topic is. You can obviously add additional instructions, use this exact structure, and you can just copy that over and input questions from your favorite LLM. And this will save you time. You can make your own prompts, and it also saves me cost, because then the LLM generation is on you, not me. So here, this is just an example, but this would be sort of what you would get from an LLM. Oops. And then you could just click process and review, import, and it would be fine. And you can save them. Okay, so that's about it right now for the core functionality. I've also added these features. I love it when learning platforms have a bit of gamification. It keeps me intrigued, keeps me coming back. There's a streak, there's an ELO rating. I might rebrand ELO, but ELO really is just, a knowledge score or a usage score. Based on how much you're studying, it gets higher. When it gets higher, you can unlock these little avatars. See what we get. I got Meteor Mage selected now. Yeah, so this is a little thing I'm working on, that I've been working on. If you're interested, please comment. I'll send you the link, or I might just add it to the description. But the hope is to be able to scale this to something a bit bigger. Right now, it's something that I've been using for a while, and my friends have been using, but I would really like it to expand, and that's what I'm going to be working on for the next 30 days. I'll be releasing August 30th.